If you're thinking about moving to the Philippines and you're having a tough time finding a condo or wondering what the rental process is like, then this video is just for you. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, my name is Floyd, aka Pinoy Floyd. I am an American that decided to relocate to the Philippines, and over the last year and a half, I've spent living outside of the US. Okay, this is a different type of video. I know you guys are used to seeing condo tours like this, and although I love making those videos for you guys to show you what your budget could afford you for your relocation and move to the Philippines, I've been getting so many questions from individuals like yourself to just ask me, hey Floyd, how do we actually find them? And even though I've made a video like this in the past, I wanted to make an updated version, a 2026 version, to help you guys navigate the rental process, because it is a lot different and sometimes more confusing than what we're used to in America. So without further ado, let me break it down. I've left timestamps in this video, so if you want to jump around to whatever portion appeals most to you, feel free to do so. Now, the first thing we need to cover when it comes to renting in the Philippines is that it is a whole different ballgame when you compare it to America. In America, you have things like the multiple listing service, Zillow.com, Realtor.com, apartments, forrent.com. However, in the Philippines, those websites don't exist. There are websites like rentpad.com or .property.ph, which can be great resources for researching and finding condos that might work for your ideal budget and location. However, the king of all platforms, believe it or not, is Facebook. That is where everyone goes to find the rentals. So the first thing you need to understand before renting in the Philippines is you will need a Facebook account, and things will be a little bit different than what you're expected to. But if you're willing to adjust to the way that this process works out here, you can definitely find amazing deals. I know you've probably seen so many different videos stating how the tourism numbers are down, and I'm actually gonna be making a video on that in the future. So if you'd like to see that and my take on how it's actually beneficial to people moving to the Philippines, then just let me know in the comment section below. But yes, the tourism numbers are down. The upside to that is that unit owners have been slashing prices. And because there's more supply and not enough demand, that is the perfect storm for individuals looking to rent. Let's break down my step-by-step process for finding rentals in the Philippines. Step number one, you want to decide your budget in at least a few different areas of where you would like to live. One of the things that I've noticed about making these how much do you pay for rent videos is the simple fact that there's always gonna be someone who says, well, you could get that for much cheaper somewhere else. And yes, although that is true, there is a reason why people pay a certain price in certain areas. That one-bedroom condo in BGC could be the same price of a three-bedroom house in Pampanga. The only difference is one is in Pampanga and one is in BGC. There are people who want to live in BGC and they don't want to live in the province, and vice versa. So decide on a budget and decide on the area, or at least a few locations that you would like to live in. And that just comes down to your overall lifestyle choice. Do you want to be in the big city where you have easy access to Western amenities like, hospitals, dining options, grocery stores, top of the line amenities? Or would you rather, stick to a province or a provincial area where it's a much more slower pace of life? However, the cost may be a lot lower. That's all up to you. But before you start your search, you have to decide. Step number two, do your reconnaissance on websites like .property.ph or rentpad.com. Now, once again, we are not actively looking for units that you will, make inquiries on, because once again, these websites are good for, surface level knowledge. It's good for familiarizing yourself with the different condos and properties. But if you reach out to an agent, don't expect that property to still be there. There's so many times that I've tested this out for myself only to be hit with the bait and switch. Oh, sorry, sir, this property is no longer available, but I have this other property somewhere else, or I have this other unit. It's not as updated as the MLS would be in the United States. In fact, I've seen listings on there for months at an end. So just use these websites as a tool for research and research alone. Maybe go on there, pop in your budget, see what the 1 bedrooms or the 2 bedrooms or the different floor plans look like, so that way you can kind of familiarize yourself and at least you can get an idea of what the units will look like and what the property will look like. A pro tip, I would say, look up the property on Airbnb to see what guests have experienced at that property. Because 9 times out of 10, once you know the name of the property, you can always just look it up on Airbnb to see what actual guests are saying about said property. Now, the reason I recommend step number 2 before you get to step number 3 is when you go on these property websites like rentpad.com, even .propertyph, you can go through and pull up, all of the condos. It's more of a directory. I know some people might be thinking, well, why can't I just skip to the step of going on Facebook? Sometimes there are Facebook groups for the specific condo or, 2 or 3 condos. And I don't know about you, I'm all about efficiency. I don't want to have to click and add myself into, 15 different Facebook groups. It's just not my thing. But moving on to step number 3. Now it's time to go on Facebook. So we have our budget, we have a location or a couple of different locations. Now we're gonna go on Facebook and we are either gonna search for the specific condo or search in the search bar, condos for rent in insert city. So condos for rent in BGC, condos for rent in Makati, condos for rent in Mandaluyong, and you'll see Facebook groups pop up. I like to go into the Facebook groups that are the most active. So if you see any type of Facebook group that has like 10 posts a day, you're more than likely gonna find agents who are trying to get you exactly what you're looking for. And I'm gonna pop an example right on the screen right here. This is a perfect example of an active Facebook group. As you can see, there are tons of posts in this group and lots of engagements, lots of comments. So that's exactly what you want. Now moving on to step number 4, and this is a crucial step. A lot of people think that they need to now sift through these different posts to see if they find the right deal. Honestly, if you've got nothing but time on your hands, you're more than welcome to do that. However, this is about efficiency. I would recommend doing the opposite of that and instead do this. We are going to create a post in this group detailing what we're looking for, our move date, so on and so forth. We're gonna post it and then we're gonna watch our inbox explode. You're gonna be getting in so many leads from so many different agents and they'll just be sending you listings. So instead of you having to look out and search through and hunt for it, this can all be served to you on a silver platter. I get this question all of the time. Well, Floyd, how do I avoid the foreigner tax that goes on in the Philippines? And I have a solution for that. If you're in a relationship with a Filipina or you have a Filipino friend out here in the Philippines, just ask them to create the post in the Facebook group and communicate with the agents. That will cut out all of the BS. The reason I know this is because me and my girlfriend tested this out before where we were looking for a condo. She posted in the group, I posted in the group. She had twice as many agents reach out to her. And when I was communicating with the agents, they would give me the higher price. She would get the real price or the local price. I would get the higher price. But that is step number 4, create a post in the Facebook group and watch your inbox explode. Now we're gonna get to step number 5. But before we get there, I have an important message from the sponsor of today's video. Hey guys, before we get back to the video, I just want to share something from one of today's sponsors. And yeah, I know YouTube sponsors can seem sketchy as hell nowadays. And since I couldn't find a sponsor that I trust for today's video, I decided to sponsor it myself. Because if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you already know that this lifestyle did not happen by accident. I live in Southeast Asia, I work remotely, and I earn my income online. And because I get so many questions, emails, and DMs, I decided to put together a guide called the Expat Escape Plan. And it's exactly what I wish I had when I was first trying to figure out how to get out of the rat race. Inside, I break down real practical ways to earn anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 per month remotely, without fake gurus, without Lambos, and without needing to be some tech genius. This is in theory. It's the actual paths, systems, and skills that make location freedom possible. Especially if Southeast Asia is calling your name. I decided to do something I rarely ever do. I dropped the price hard. Consider it a gift to the people like you who support this channel. So if you've ever thought, geez, there has to be a different way to live than this, then this guide was made just for you. You'll find a link to the Expat Escape Plan on the first pinned comment of today's video, or linked in the description. No pressure, no hard sell, just information that can completely change the way that you work and the way that you live. All right, now let's get back to today's video. So step number 5. Now, this is something that you can actually choose to do before or after you tour. I ended up doing this before I toured any condos, which was just to rent it out on Airbnb. Even if it's for a short period of time, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, especially if you're out here on a scouting trip anyways, just rent a condo out on Airbnb, test it out, see what it's like. Or if you toured the condo already and you want to just get a feeling for what it's like to live there, then yeah, go for it. Rent a unit out, a similar unit, for a couple of nights, maybe a week or two, and just see what it feels like living there. Because you might find yourself coming across some unexpected issues that may have not come up on the tour. Whatever it is, I always recommend booking an Airbnb at that condo once you've kind of zeroed in the condo that you want, or just hop from, condo to condo until you land on one that you really like, and then you can start the process of searching for one. So that step is kind of interchangeable. I mean, you can honestly do that at any stage of the process. Doesn't necessarily have to be step number 5 and the last thing you do. You could actually start your process like that and then do the rest of the steps. So just keep that in mind. But now we're actually gonna hit the field and go check out a condo and see what it's really like touring one. All right, guys, so we're walking through this place, and this looks like this is a studio unit. This is the bathroom right here. We've got a standard shower, toilet, sink, all of that good stuff. Shoe rack, so let's kick the shoes off. Want to respect the unit owner. And as I'm walking through right now, I'm looking through, unit looks decent. I mean, this is a studio floor plan. So for the square meters, it's gonna feel a little bit cozy, but hey, it's a studio. And if you're looking around, maybe just for a place to bounce around for the next couple of months, this might not be a bad option as a crash pad, or if you're coming out on a scouting trip. So I'll turn the camera around just so you can see. You've got this kitchen area right here, cooktop, rice cooker, because we're in the Philippines, and then you have a sink. Looks like we have a microwave right here, and this fridge looks like it's a pretty decent size. Looks like you can fit some stuff in there. In terms of the space right here in the cupboards or the cabinet, there's a decent amount of space in there as well. Now, one thing I can say that I like about this unit already, you have this huge TV mounted properly, perfectly. I've been in so many units where they have a TV, but it's not really mounted properly, or it's in a random weird spot, but this is not that bad. You have the sofa right here, which makes for a great viewing experience. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, you've got the table right here. I don't know if I would want to have such a large table. This may or may not be something you would want to have in a unit yourself. For me, I'm okay with just eating off of a little, small foldable table or something like that, just because it takes up so much space of an already cozy unit. As you can see right here, sofa's right here, table's right there, TV's right there. So for me, I would just have to remove the table, but it's not that bad. I'm sure the unit owner put that in there for a good reason. And here we have the bedroom. This looks like this is a queen size bed. And then you have your wardrobe. Now, I'm not gonna open this up because it looks like they have some additional bedding or some additional padding for the mattress, but there's a good amount of space in there. And then you have your linens right here. But what are y'all thinking so far? Let me know in the comment section below. I think this space is pretty decent. I see for the aircon unit, it's an inverter type. So on the last video, someone had commented that the unit did not have an inverter type aircon, and that can drive up your electricity costs out here in the Philippines. Because one thing that is certain in the Philippines is that the electricity costs can be on the higher side of things. So if you don't have an air conditioner that is inverter type, that can eat away at your monthly budget. So when you're touring condos, make sure to ask or just look. And if they don't have an inverter type, ask the unit owner if they'd be willing to install that inverter type. And you can also use that to negotiate to get the rate a little bit lower. That's one aircon. I'm looking around to see if there's another. Okay, no. So it's just that one aircon, but even from where I'm standing, since this is a studio and it's quite cozy, this could cool off the whole unit. But one thing I like the most, look at this view that you have. Wow. I could honestly say for this building, the view, unobstructed views of the Pasig River, the rest of Mandaluyong. I imagine on New Year's Eve or any celebration, the fireworks are going crazy. Now this unit may be cozy, but this view is a 10 out of 10. So guys, one thing I can say that I like about this property so far, you have this really cool garden area, which is very unique. I thought I would only see something like that at a property like Gramercy. You have something like that at Aqua. And it makes sense because Gramercy is a Century property. It's also a Century property, so it's probably something that they do at other Century properties. I would love to tour some more Century properties in the Philippines. So if you guys have any suggestions for other properties like this by Century Development, if you're an agent that's working for Century Developments, please let me know. Shoot me a DM or email me. Hey guys, so this unit is actually a live active rental. We are touring this one. This one is 27.3 square meters. And the monthly rent amount that the unit owner is asking for is 23,000 pesos a month. This is going to be Aqua private residences. For the payment terms, it's going to be 1 month advance rent and 2 months security deposit. So if you're interested in renting this unit or you'd like more information on this unit, I've got all the contact information below. It will be linked in the pinned comment of today's video and in the description below. All right, so guys, what did you think about the condo? Did you like it? Did you love it? Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you thought of this video. Should I make more educational content like this? If so, let me know in the comment section below. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I appreciate you all watching. Make sure to like this video, share this video, and save this video. And if there's nothing else left to be said, I want you to take care, stay safe, God bless, peace.